It has begun. Hello, everyone, and I'm going to be trying out my new camera today. Got a new webcam, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know how I sound. I've recorded myself earlier. Apparently, I sound a bit more clear, but we'll see when I play it back. Anyway, today there's been a lot of talk about if Noob Saibot is going to be in the sequel film. And a lot of people think that he is because obviously he died. But I'm going to say but because I have a different idea to literally everyone else, which seems to be really funny. So I'm going to do a video on this today, and then we'll see what people say after. See if they've got like a, see if I can spark a few seeds in the mind. But I can't talk about my idea without going through my idea on how the film should begin. So we know that Shang Tsung is bending the rules. Okay, he's breaking the rules. He's breaking the rules. So what if he's broken the rules to the extent that the elder gods have to intervene? So at the beginning of the film, you're going to have to show the elder gods confronting Shang Tsung and say, we give you enough room to hang yourself, basically. And because of all this that's gone on, because of the murder and death before the tournament, we're going to reset everybody. Not reset time, but everyone that was killed in the first film, the elder gods are going to have to bring back. Hello, Quincy Brown. Thanks for dropping in. How's it going, mate? So you have to bring them back. The rules were broken. So to punish both sides, Earthrealm and Outworld, you bring back all fighters from all sides. So, okay, we've brought the characters back. They're not going to be as dangerous as before, but that's not what you think. They've been brought back, but they remember that they've been killed. They know that they can be killed. So you bring back, say, the likes of Goro, as I've stated before in a past stream. Goro comes back, and he's checking himself where he had his hand cut off. He had that slice up him. He had his eye taken out, and he's checking. But at the same time, he's pissed off. So the same would go for literally all of them. And that would include Sub-Zero. So Sub-Zero has been brought back. Now, he knows he's been killed, but he's kind of, I don't know. I'd show him a little bit smug. Now, why would I show him a little bit smug? Because fast forward into the tournament, I'm not going to get into too much detail, but Scorpion is there. Scorpion's at the tournament. And he sees Sub-Zero. Of course, Scorpion's going to be confused, as well as angry, saying that I killed you. You could say, I killed you. Why aren't you dead? And then Sub-Zero could say, I've been brought back. But let's face it, Scorpion, you couldn't beat me one-on-one. You needed your descendants to help you beat me. And throughout that tournament, this is what I'd do with Sub-Zero. I'd have him torment Scorpion. I'd have him torment him, saying, you can't beat me. I've beat you once. I beat you once hundreds of years ago. I beat you hundreds of years ago. And if Cole Young wasn't there to help you, I'd have killed you again. You can't beat me. This is going to fuel Scorpion. He's going to really want to get him. While Sub-Zero is rubbing it in his face that he can't beat him one-on-one. So this is what I'd do with the Sub-Zero character in the next film. Have them all be brought back. Don't have Noob. You don't need him because it's still the first tournament. Well, Earth's last tournament, their 10th tournament. And have Cole Young out the picture, as I mentioned in the past stream. Have him in a side plot. So he's out the way. He can't help Scorpion anymore. Can't help anyone out in the tournament anymore. And Scorpion can't wait to get his hands on him. But also, it depends on where you place Scorpion. Is he fighting for Earthrealm or is he fighting for Outworld? Because Scorpion is not of either. He is now of the Netherrealm. So he's like a wild card. So Scorpion would be a wild card. But also you could have a thing in there to show that, say Quan Chi's there, he's made a deal with Outworld, Shang Tsung, that he will use Scorpion to help Outworld, and he will protect Sub-Zero. He will protect Sub-Zero from Scorpion, right? This is why Scorpion won't outright attack him. So all the way through, this is why you have to show Sub-Zero as someone that's very smug, because he knows he's protected. So he's just rubbing it in the face of Scorpion, saying, you can never beat me. You'll never beat me. So that's how I'd play to this. I mean, it's going to come down to them pair eventually. So in the film, it's going to come to a point where Scorpion is going to break free from this deal and say, I fight for no one. I don't fight for Earthrealm. I don't fight for Outworld, and I don't fight for the Netherrealm. Right? I can choose. He can choose because he's from Earthrealm, and Scorpion is born from the Netherrealm, so he can choose. He can choose what he wants to fight for, and it doesn't say in the first film that you can't participate if you haven't got the mark. Now, Hanzo was beaten, so you're assuming that the marking was taken or gone from by Bihan. You've got to assume that. So he hasn't got a mark, but it doesn't mean it absolves him from the tournament. As Liu Kang stated in the first film, if you haven't got a mark, you are a liability. All because you haven't got abilities. But Scorpion has abilities. So he doesn't need the mark to participate or choose who he fights for. So eventually, I'm going to have, in my idea, Scorpion choose to fight for Earthrealm because he wants Sub-Zero. Now, in between all this, you could have Shang Tsung try to keep Scorpion on his side by saying, why don't you fight for Outworld? And I can give you what you want. I can give you Sub-Zero. So Shang Tsung is doing that behind Quan Chi's back. There's a lot of double crossing, which you've got to expect it from the likes of Shang Tsung and Quan Chi. But at the end of the day, Sub-Zero is going to be protected. He's going to be protected by Quan Chi and possibly Shang Tsung as well, because they need him to fight off against the Earthrealm warriors. And they can't really rely on Scorpion to fight for their side. So they're still trying to convince him. And Scorpion's still saying, I will fight for whoever I want to fight for. So, of course, it gets down to it. And you could say that when Scorpion realises that he wants to fight for Earthrealm, that then doesn't protect Sub-Zero. All the protections that Quan Chi and Shang Tsung have put on Sub-Zero, they have gone. Because Scorpion has now chosen a side that he wants to fight for, Earthrealm. So there we go. That's what I'd do with Sub-Zero and the kind of the plot of bringing everyone back. The Elder Gods have got to bring everyone back though, and say it's because of all the rule breaking from Shang Tsung and people dying on both sides. They're going to have to bring everyone back, but it doesn't make everyone weaker. It actually makes everyone more aware that they can be killed, and you've got to make them believe that they've learned. They've got to learn from their mistakes. So, with Sub-Zero, having him torment Scorpion, saying, "You needed your descendant to beat me. You couldn't do it by yourself. Otherwise, I would have killed you again." That's a good little subplot in the tournament. So then you can have a definitive winner and actually have Scorpion defeat Sub-Zero as it should be, as it was in the games, as it is in the story. And then in another potential sequel, or say in the end credits, then you could show Quan Chi helping to evolve Bi-Han into being Noob Saibot. You could probably throw in some other references and say, "Welcome back, Sub-Zero." You could have things like that, which is a reference to the mythologies. If they want to do spin-offs, if they want to create prequel stories, they could reference things like that, which I think would be really cool. Quincy here says, let's show it. Quincy here says, "I think it makes sense because MK Conquest, they got killed and they came back on season 2. What a surprise for the next season." Yeah, they could. I'm assuming they would have done that if they would have done a second season of Conquest. It'd be a different Sub-Zero and Scorpion though, wouldn't it? It's not. I don't know if it's the same. Obviously, they're seeing the same characters. I don't know how they'll play. I think if they probably would, because they don't say the names, do they? They don't say Hanzo or Bi-Han. So what we see in the Mortal Kombat 95 movie is probably the same two from Conquest. We don't know. But, yeah. Chris German's in. How's it going, mate? Thanks for dropping in. And yes. They should do Noob Saibot in a post-credit scene. Yeah, they should do that. Have it in the Netherrealm. And you just hear Quan Chi's voice say, "Welcome home, welcome to my home, Sub-Zero." That'd be a nice callback. As they did in Mythologies. Yeah. So there we go. Now I'm going to put myself on. So if I take away this picture and put me on, and there I am. Hello there. So I got some lights. You see, does it feel all Sub-Zero-y with all the lights going on, all the blue lights? Does it feel cold? Is it cold in there? So there we go. That's how I'll do the Sub-Zero character. Don't bring in Noob Saibot yet. It's way too early. And I know the movie has already brought in characters from like the third game and the fourth games in for Nitara and things like that. But I'm trying to stick to the original game as possible. So you have the tournament going on. You've got all the characters there from the first game. They're all there. And I know people don't like Cole Young. I know they don't. But hear me out. I did a stream on what they could possibly do with him. Have him in a side plot away from the tournament, but just as important. Someone give me the idea when I was talking to them on a private stream that my idea was going to have Cole Young in a subplot where Outworld's already invading Earth during the tournament because they feel that they're going to win anyway. So they've just started early. Raiden can't be there. He has to look over everyone in the tournament. So he leaves Fujin there. But also is left there is Cole Young. Cole Young is the only one with the abilities of defense. Now, he's worked on his defense. I've gone through it before in a stream if you want to go back in the stream. And he's the only one that could at least slow down the invasion enough in the hopes that Liu Kang will win the tournament, which will stop the invasion. So you've got that idea. It keeps Cole Young out the tournament. Well, everything we see in the original game, that is happening in front of us as well, in the main plot. So that's how I'll do that. The battle with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, it doesn't have to be the main focus this time. It can be a focus, but not the main focus. It's a subplot that serves a purpose, but it's very contained. You've got to say it's very contained with itself outside of everyone else, like Liu Kang and Sonya and you know, the Shang Tsung and Liu Kang and things like that. Especially when Johnny Cage comes on. He's going to be taking up probably a bulk of what's going on. So I don't want to... It's not relegating characters. They're still very prominent. It's like you're anticipating their next battle, their definitive battle. So if you keep building it up now and then, keep having Sub-Zero with the, you know, rubbing it in his face that, you know, Hanzo, you can't beat me one-on-one. Or Scorpion, you can't beat me one-on-one. You needed the Descendant to beat me. You know, I've beaten you once, I could beat you again. It just builds up for that one main fight in the film, and it's going to be definitive. You're gonna show Scorpion besting Sub-Zero, either taking him to the Nether Realm like they did in the Mortal Kombat 9 in the reboot, where he takes him down and then kills him there, or outright just finish him at the tournament. It's going to be definitive. You know Sub-Zero's dead. It's got to be like that. And Lou's dropped in. All right, Lou, how's it going? Thanks for dropping in. I don't know what you've missed, but I've gone through what I'd do with Sub-Zero in terms of how they bring the characters back. Why I wouldn't want Noob this early. Mainly because there was no... It wasn't like... You can't really say fair battle, but it wasn't a one-on-one battle between Scorpion and Sub-Zero because Cole Young was there. He was helping Scorpion, which kind of makes Scorpion weak and actually makes Sub-Zero pretty high tier. So you're gonna have to have the Elder Gods do a total reset and bring everyone back, but not go back in time. You don't have to go back in time. Just bring everyone back. They know they've been killed, which makes them think, oh my God, I'm going to have to learn from my mistakes. But Sub-Zero knows he's been killed. And he also knows it took two of them. It took Cole Young as well as Scorpion. So he's going to keep rubbing it in Scorpion's face. As I said earlier, if you've missed it, you could have Quan Chi make a deal with Sub-Zero. Make a deal with Sub-Zero and Shang Tsung that is bringing Scorpion, but Sub-Zero is protected. Right? They're going to try and get Scorpion to fight for Outworld to beat Earthrealm. So, Scorpion can't attack Sub-Zero because Sub-Zero is protected. So, while he's protected, Sub-Zero, Joe Taslim could have some lines. He could literally walk up to Scorpion face to face, and say, you can't beat me one-on-one. You needed your descendants to help you win. And things like that, rub it in his face, and it's just fueling the flames. It's just fueling Scorpion's flames. And at the end, because the battle for Earthrealm in Mortal Kombat is between Earthrealm and Outworld, Netherrealm is a wild card. No one, they're not under any rules. You could have Scorpion come across that, and he chooses to fight for Earthrealm. He chooses to fight for Earthrealm because then that breaks it breaks the protection of Sub-Zero. So then you can have Shang Tsung and Quan Chi go, holy shit. Uh-oh. And Sub-Zero, he is, you can probably tell he's grinning underneath his mask. You know, you can express it through his eyes. So all of a sudden you can see his eyes go, and he's like, okay, oh shit. But he still has to plan his words that, you know, Scorpion can't beat him. So of course he's going to accept the challenge. It's got to be a definitive winner, and Scorpion's got to kill Sub-Zero, and it's got to be outright definitive. There's no ifs or buts. It's either can you do another toasty? It's already been done. How would you definitively kill Sub-Zero if you were Scorpion in the sequel? How could you do it? How would you do it? Because you can't just do another toasty. And I don't like the idea of Scorpion doing Sub-Zero's finisher, the spine head rip. I don't want that. So is it going to have to involve his swords? Or his spear? He could literally toast him through his spear. He throws the spear into his skull and sets, you know, the fire travels down and sets him alight. You know, that'd be a cool little effect. So it shows that Scorpion has now defeated his rival. Now, Scorpion being full of vengeance and being forced to participate in this tournament, he doesn't like the fact that he's been forced. So now he's going to turn his sights towards the likes of Quan Chi. Because Quan Chi is the one that not created him, but forced him to bring out this Scorpion persona. So I'm going to say he didn't create Scorpion. He just brought it out of Hanzo. Because in another stream, as I'm going to keep saying, I'm going to say that Hanzo's Arcana, his fire ability, is kind of linked to the energies of Netherrealm, the fires of Netherrealm. So he could help mold Scorpion. He could help mold him, but he didn't create him. But now, because Scorpion has defeated Sub-Zero and been forced into the tournament, his sights are now set on Quan Chi. Now, you could have, after the fight, after the Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight, and Scorpion turns to Quan Chi with a look of anger, as if he's going to attack him, you could have Quan Chi literally be scared out of his boots, and he's like, he turns to Sub-Zero and goes, he could say some silly line like, I think it's time for me to go. Something like that. And then he escapes. He just goes back to the Netherrealm. Of course, Shang Tsung's going to be like, coward. I will defeat these humans myself. You know, things like that. It feels like he's just been left because he felt so sure of himself having Quan Chi by his side. But you can also have Scorpion believe that he's not needed. He's not of Earthrealm anymore. He doesn't feel a connection there anymore. There's nothing there for him. even though he's still linked, through Cole Young and his descendants, it's not his family. He don't know them, and he's more of a tool of vengeance than human. So he decides to just leave. He decides just to go back to the Netherrealm to try and find Quan Chi. So he could turn to Raiden with a few lines saying, I am no longer needed. I no longer care what happens now. So it's still keeping Scorpion as a neutral, which is really good for his character, because if Scorpion's on one side or the other, you think there's an imbalance there. But if you have Scorpion as a neutral, it keeps that fear factor of both sides. Is he going to fight for this side? Is he going to fight for that side? Because he's clouded, he can still be manipulated. He can still be mentally manipulated. So keep him as a neutral, and he disappears. So now you go through the tournament. I'm cutting it real short because this is supposed to be, Sub-Zero and Noob. Cut it short. Obviously, Liu Kang wins. He defeats Shang Tsung. Don't want to get into more detail. I've got more ideas on how the tournament would go. But that also helps the other plot where Cole Young, Fujin, Nightwolf, Striker, and Jax are trying to stop the invasion of Earth, or at least stem it. The idea that someone gave me, his name's The Combatant on Twitter. Now, we had a private chat. I had the idea of Outworld doing it, but he kind of convinced me that it might be better if it was Netherrealm instead. That was the deal that Quan Chi and Shang Tsung made, thinking that they're in cahoots with each other. And it's actually Netherrealm entering Earthrealm because Netherrealm are not under any Mortal Kombat rules. They can invade whoever they want. They don't, they're not under the thumb of any Elder God restrictions. So Netherrealm are invading. Obviously, Raiden knows, but he can't be there. That's why he points Fujin. So you're having new characters in the new film, but they're not in the tournament. The tournament is for all the original characters from the first game. And, it kind of like helps there. So because Quan Chi's left and Earthrealm win the tournament, the portal can't be sustained. So obviously that portal that Shang Tsung has opened to the Netherrealm, it's starting to weaken. And, Cole Young and everyone else has done their part. And they cheer and celebrate the fact that Earthrealm have won. So this also helps, stress that Liu Kang is the champion of Mortal Kombat. But it also keeps Cole Young relevant. And even though he's not in the tournament, he's part of it. With the Sub-Zero and Scorpion thing, you've put a chapter there. There's a definitive ending to that chapter. And then end credits or, mid credits. I don't know how many after credit scenes you want. But the main one has to be, as I said earlier, you could have the body of Sub-Zero, Bihan, either, he's bloodied or whatever. It's like, you don't know how you could do it. Is he going to be toasted? I suppose you're going to have it where his skin's... If you're going to have the burning thing again, don't have it through the Scorpion skull thing again. Have it done through something else, and you literally have it, like, he's toasted. So there's no more juices left, if you know what I mean. So he's totally burnt, he's black. And so when the cutscene happens, and he's been sent down to the Netherrealm, because Quan Chi's taken his body. In the Netherrealm, the body's got a bit of life, but he's got no powers. It's not Sub-Zero, he's dead. So, toasted Bihan is like bones and everything else. But as he's in the nether realm, he's absorbing the atmosphere to where he's kind of like gaining a bit of strength. So he's gaining a bit of strength, and all you hear is Quan Chi. You hear Quan Chi, so which is a good nod back to more Kombat mythologies. Either welcome back, Sub-Zero, or welcome to my home, Sub-Zero. I think it'd be pretty cool, and that's when it cuts off. You see, like, you know, you could show like Bihan turn towards the camera, and it's all like, you know, sunken skin and a bit of bone, and you see like forming back as it was absorbing the area. The atmosphere is absorbing all the darkness. You know, because it's the Netherrealm. It affects people differently, and it's just changing Bihan, and it will show that it's making a not a positive effect, a definite effect on himself. So it's turning him into something that he wasn't. So instead of coming back as Sub-Zero again, having ice powers, the absorbing of the atmosphere of the Netherrealm is actually making him something different. So it's a really good idea, and you can have that as a post credit, and it just totally sets up the next film. So how does everyone like that? If I go back to the let's go back to look. What's this? What's he say? They should. What's it? Oh yeah, no, but yeah, I think I've read that one. This one, it says we've got to see hand-to-hand combat between both of them. In the first one, all weapons. Cole Young should learn his self-defense. In my last stream, I actually went over that he's actually perfecting his defensive abilities, not just his arcana abilities, but like when he's in the cage, his defensive abilities in the cage. So he's learning to block better, and he's actually, you could show like little montages of where he's back at that gym with the cage, and he's actually winning fights, and you could show the owner. If you remember, the owner of the gym called him the human punching bag, and he could show him, you know, the camera's looking at him, and he's like shocked that he's actually winning fights. He's like, huh. And so you know, to nod back to the first one, that he's not just a human punching bag anymore. It shows the progression of the character, that he's actually learned. He's learned. You know, he now knows that he can. He's got the confidence back, whereas in the first one, it's as if he's got no confidence. So it's showing confidence, and it's showing through you know, his defensive abilities in the cage, as well as defensive abilities to use his arcana. Lou says, I've missed everything, Dave. Well, hopefully you've caught back up now. So I've gone through everything again. What if we get Cyrax? Now, is this pre-Cyber? And it's got to be pre-Cyber, because they want this to be a successful franchise. They want it to last as many movies. They can't rush everything. They could, in this film, hint that there's a cyber initiative. They could hint it, but not do it. Or hint that it's going. Again, they could hint that it's going through it, but I don't think they should show any cybers. I personally don't want any cybers. I'm trying to stick to the first game as much as possible. So I wouldn't have. I suppose you could have these characters like cameo. Have them cameo. That'd be cool. Nice, bro. That would. I've got my camera in the way. That'd be great to see him in that. Yeah, I think we're still on about Cyrax. Chris Jones says, I'm liking this. Nice one. Quincy again. MK11 fatality with sword. Pops Sub-Zero head there. And, you could do that, but then with the ending, it's going to be different because of the ending of the post credit I've just said, where the body's there. So how would you show Bihan in the Nether Realm? Would you have him get back up as a headless ninja and then put his head back on? So I know I'm on about showing a definitive winner, but which is why I went with another fire attack, another fire fatality, but doing it differently. But showing it that, he's not just burnt where his skin's still there. So his skin's 90% gone. He's like, now, is it MKX, where you can show him without his mask on, and it shows that there's no nose, and I think there's a little bit of lips, but it's more teeth, something like that, but more crispy because he's been burnt, hasn't he? So something more of like a shrunken in type of thing, but it will show this time that he's actually been killed. It's very definitive. He's been killed. There's he's toasted. There's no juices left. It's just skin and bone, but the skin's been toasted. So I don't think I'd show the sword attack. I'd show the spear a few times. You could have it going through his head, and then have the flame go down the chain. Have the camera follow down the chain as the fire comes in, and just totally engulf him in flames. That'd be a good fatality. Lou says, I hope we get a brutality and Scorpion gets to do it. I don't think you're going to show 100 hits as it gets with the uppercut and explosion. You could probably show like a massive combo. That'd be a good callback to it. So yeah, they could show a massive combo to I don't know who you'd give it to. I'd say I'd want to give it to Liu Kang to performing that on Shang Tsung, because then you could show that nearly every hit that he's doing on Shang Tsung, it's weakening him to the point where souls are leaving him. So as he's being hit, he's being weakened to the point where he can't hold the souls in. And the souls are leaving him. But at the same time, if you're going to show hits in slow motion as souls are leaving him, you could actually show Shang Tsung actually aging to what he looks like in the first game. That's another good idea. So at the end, he's beaten and he's like a withering old man. And he's also got, you could say the last soul he's got is... The last soul he's got is the one he's desperately trying to hold on to, which is Kung Lao. So he's got Kung Lao's. And he knows he's beaten. Shang Tsung knows he's beaten. So in a last act of defiance, he could say to, he's on his knees and Liu Kang's like, it's just like, and right, you could show Shang Tsung go, you'll never have Kung Lao back. His soul is forever tormented, or something like that. And I wouldn't have Liu Kang kill Shang Tsung. I'd have him beat him where he's knocked out, and the last soul does. Kung Lao's soul leaves his body. He's knocked out, and he's shown he's desperately trying to hold on to that ass spirit leaving. It's leaving. He can't. And he's trying to hold on to it, and he just. As he finally gets knocked out, the soul, Kung Lao's soul, finally leaves the body. Finally leaves. That's how I'd do that. Chris German. I'm really hoping Cabal makes a return. He would. Right, the idea I have for him is he does come back, but he's had an epiphany. He realises that everything he's done is for greed. And he doesn't know where his allegiance lies. Is it with Outworld and the Black Dragon, or is it with, Striker and Earthrealm? He's conflicted. He doesn't know what he wants, because you could show that he's dedicated his life to Kano because he's the one that saved his life. Because he says in the first film, Kano's the reason he's in an iron lung. Now, people interpreted that as Kano's the one that forced him to be in it, being burnt and everything else. No, he put him in an iron lung to keep him alive. You could show that, he wanted Cabal to be alive, because he was dead or dying. And he helped him stay alive by putting him in the iron lung. So he's conflicted because he feels like his greed has got him killed. Again, it's showing character development for all the characters that have come back to life due to the will of the Elder Gods. He could be like another one of them wild cards where in the end he helps Earthrealm, but he has like another double turn. So you think he's good in this next film, but he then turns and realizes that he knows that Striker's his friend, and you could show Striker then saying, "Stay with us," as the portal is closing. At the end of the invasion, or the attempted invasion, you could have Cabal turn back and say, "You'll always be my friend, but my life belongs to Kano and the Black Dragon." And then you kind of feel for him as a character as well. So he then goes back to Kano and the Black Dragon. It solves a problem. That's how I'd do that. Quincy Brown says, Liu Kang, we saved Kung Lao's soul for the spin-off. Are they gonna now? Would they do a spin-off of Shaolin Monks that leads into the next film? It's very strange because the story of Shaolin Monks, it actually leads into the second game. So it's how could you do it? You got the Outworld tournament, which is another good main storyline for another sequel. But the Shaolin Monks game actually delves into the second game. It's very hard to try and do a Shaolin Monks without stepping into the main storyline of the second game. So I don't know how I've got no idea on how they would do a Shaolin Monks spin-off after the second film. I can't see. I don't even want to speculate on it. I can do a prequel of how they met up as children. I've done that before. I can do that. But when it comes to a Shaolin Monks spin-off, I don't know how to tackle that without it bleeding into the second game a lot. It's going to be very hard for them to navigate it if they want to go that route. Quincy again, he says, I hope and pray Todd Garner, Joe Taslim, Louis Tan, and Jeremy Slater see this. These are great ideas. Thank you very much. Again, these ideas, they're not just random ideas. They all link into each other. It's as if I've come up with a whole sequel film, all together. With my ideas, it's like it's a whole sequel film together. So yeah, thanks for that. And of course, it'd be nice to know that they've got a team watching in and gathering information. Even if there was to rip off these ideas 100%, I wouldn't ask for any compensation apart from, in the knowledge that I know it's my idea or ideas, and everyone else is going to know. Whoever's watching this or whoever watches my videos, say they do happen in a second film, you're instantly going to know, Oh, Dave, he did them ideas. They've got it from Dave. It's nice. It's nice to know that they listen to not just ideas, but ideas that actually help. There's a lot of people that are trashing the first film. I can see their merits, but no one's offering solutions, which is where I thought I could fill that gap. And I'm hoping that my ideas are actually filling that little in between. Because you've got two sets. You've got the people that love the film, and you've got the people that hate the film. And I'm trying to bridge the gap between both, which is why I do private streams with I've done it with quite a few people now, especially with people that hate Cole Young. They say, I don't want him in the second one. No, they should kill him off straight away. Even Screen Rant do these articles saying they should kill off Cole Young in the second one, basically because he's a waste. But they're not looking into it on how they'd actually progress the character. And I'm happy to say that when I did a joint stream with Future Boy and Lose Life, going over how I would progress the character, and I've kind of stuck with it on what I'd do. And it'd be nice to know that they've got someone listening in, with a pen and paper. Oh, that's a good idea. Jotting them down and just passing them over and saying, we've got these ideas. Can they be incorporated into your script or, Jeremy's script or something? There's plenty of time for them to change things. They're not going to do 1 or 2 or 3 scripts. They're going to change things out and swap things over. So it'd be nice to get at least one of my infinite amount of ideas in there. There's bound to be a few in there. Oh, we got DHR2 Productions in there. Thanks for coming in. I've still got to get you on a stream or private. You're on my hit list still. So you say, I hope that Cole doesn't end up getting most development in the second movie. Right, you say that, but don't you think he's the one that needs it the most? I personally think he's the one that needs it the most. Now, when his Arcana manifested, everyone's thinking, oh, it's just a jumper. It's just a suit. It's plot armor, literal plot armor. Quoting a few people. I'm thinking he's the one that needs it the most. So you've got to show him, you've got to show his development. So he's learning defense, not just in mixed martial arts, but in terms of his abilities as well. You got to do like a quick montage of him progressing and showing that he can he doesn't have to just form his tonfa or his bladed tonfa. You could show him forming swords. He loves to play with swords. You've got to show that. Louis Tan loves playing with swords, and I can't believe they never showed that in the film. Show it in the next film. He loves playing with his swords. Show it. Show his skills with the swords. So he can do swords. He can do mallets. He could do staffs. He could do hammers. For defense, that he's been working on the most. Show developments that he can defend. He could form shields. He could form like wide umbrellas. Say if an aerial attack is coming in, he could not just protect himself, he could protect others. You've got to. He's the one that needs it the most because he's the one that's got to win over the fans. He's got to win them over. So you say that he shouldn't get most development. He needs it the most, and I can't wait to try and convince you. Chris German says Cyrax. My camera's in the way again. Would be shoehorned if they incorporated cyborgs. At this stage, yeah. Do cameos of the ninjas. So they're going to have Koi Lang, the younger Sub-Zero. They've got to have him. They've got to have him there. So you could show little hints at the Lin Kuei Temple, and you have the Grandmaster, and then in the background, who do you see? Cyrax Sector. You could probably have a hint of smoke. You never know. You could have a hint, something floating by or something. Always hint. Don't blow don't put everything into a basket. Just hint it. Just show little hints. So when the next film comes, if this one's successful, in the next film, in the third film, you can have those characters be a bit more, a bit more prominent. So you can have them talking about the Cyber Initiative. Again, drop hints. Don't overblow the film by shoving so much that people are going to be like, oh no, this is Mortal Kombat Battle for the Realms all over again. Please don't do that. Quincy again, mess up my sentences, my bad. Oh, that's all right, that's fine. Quincy, fire bicycle kick will do more damage on Shang Tsung. They've already done the bicycle kick, right? They've already done that. I do like the idea of a flaming bicycle kick, but you know what I've got? The flaming fly kick that he does to Shang Tsung in the opening of Shaolin Monks, the game Shaolin Monks. It's the last move that Liu Kang does to Shang Tsung. Do that and have it flaming. I think I've said that before on stream. So yeah, I mean, it's already shown that Liu Kang, when he's fighting, the flame's always on. It's like, flame on! It's already on. I can see Shao making a cameo towards the ending, heading for Mortal Kombat 2 tournament, because in the sequel, the tournament is based on MK1. The 2021 movie is just a prequel tournament. Yeah, it's a prequel to the first game, the original first game. Obviously, you're going to need to do the Outworld tournament, and I think they should do what Battle of the Realms did, where they make an agreement that, have the tournament in Outworld, have it be the last tournament, and Shao Kahn will leave Earth Realm alone if Earth Realm win. So you do that. I think you'd have to do that in the third film. I think you'd have to do it. I don't think you could do it in this one, but you could, again, at the end of the next film, they could do a few post-credit scenes. You go to the Noob Saibot one. You've got to tease Noob Saibot, and you've got to have Shao Kahn as a post-credit as well. Scotty, bet you. Sister 19 online. I don't know if that's your Twitter handle. It could be. Yeah, I did a video on that topic as well. Not to mention that they also put out an article claiming a normal tournament would not work in reality. Would not work really. Huh? Is that Screen Rant again? I'd love to talk to someone on Screen Rant and and actually do an article, like countering their lack of knowledge, because they come up with such, I want to say, garbage, because they think that the Sub-Zero in the last film was the younger Sub-Zero. I don't know how they come up with that. It seems really weird. Yeah, Screen Rants, it seems that they just get people to skip over the film, and they don't actually, they see it, but they don't watch it. There's a difference between seeing something and watching something. I could just sit and look at the TV, and people say, "Oh, I'll just watch TV," but you're just seeing something. You're not absorbing it. So I say there's a difference between seeing something and watching something. They just skip over an awful lot, and they just don't bother with any details. But yeah, again, it's another case of people not offering solutions. You know, they're just, oh, this is bad, that's bad. They should kill off Cole Young, and you know they can't do this in the next film. You know, it's not good. So this is where I come in and hopefully be that in between both of good and bad. Oh yeah, that flying kick. Yeah, how can you forget that? It's one of his main moves in the first game. DHR2. Yeah, I like your idea. Thanks for that. Yeah, I've got all these ideas. You know, I've had them for a long time. That's why I've done videos. Because on Twitter, you write them out. You know, you've only got limited space, and I don't like doing Twitter threads. Most people aren't going to read through a 100-page thread. They're not going to do it. So that's why I've decided to do live stream videos. Get my ideas across, and once they're on YouTube, they're there, hopefully forever, for anyone to pick apart, anyone to pinch ideas from. You know, it's good. I mean, I have, you know, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I have Todd Gardner following me on Twitter, and I see people saying that, you know, Mortal Kombat's not very good. It's got all this. That's bad. And even though the film didn't blow me away as much as I wanted it to, I still see outs for the mistakes that are in there. I see ways of them getting out of it in a sequel if they address them. One of the main addresses that I'd want them to express is Raiden. It seemed that Raiden was very reckless in his judgment and his decisions. It's as if, again, I'm going to keep saying, he looked dejected. He felt like he was fighting a losing battle. So he had no confidence in what he had left to work with. Which is why he just kept walking away from everybody, you know, saying, oh, you haven't got a marking, you're not, you know, you've got no belief, or you've got no abilities, you're pretty useless, basically. So, but at the end of the film, you can see that he's got a bit of confidence back. And before that, though, he was putting everyone in danger. It's as if he was just sacrificing anybody and everybody just to try and survive as long as basically help Earth survive as long as possible before the inevitable. So, you know, you got like when they went to Raiden's temple, Shang Tsung brought Melina and Sub-Zero to the temple, and he put up that shield. And then later on in the film, you know, Cole Young in the void says, Raiden, can you teleport anyone anywhere? And Raiden, he looks to Cole Young and goes, as if he's like, I can do that. Maybe I should have done that at the beginning. And the way it comes across is Raiden's like thinking, there's a plan formulating. They're actually coming up with a plan. And you can see his confidence building, which is why he gives Cole Young the kunai. He hands it over because he's now starting to believe that there's a possibility of them winning. So Raiden, in the first film, all of his judgment was very poor. He even put Cole Young, as well as his family, at risk of death at the hands of Goro. He literally put them in danger. Now, it wasn't just that. He also caused the death of Kung Lao. He sent back Kung Lao to try and help Cole Young, which then made Shang Tsung steal Kung Lao's soul, basically kill Kung Lao. Again, it's poor judgment on Raiden's part. And then in the film, if you want to create a bit of animosity between Liu Kang and Raiden, you can have Raiden say to Liu Kang, I'm sorry, it's my fault Kung Lao's dead. It's my fault. If not for my poor judgment, due to the lack of belief that Earthrealm had a chance of winning, Kung Lao would still be alive today. And you could have a bit of a rift form between Liu Kang and Raiden, which is what they show in Mortal Kombat 9. They show that. So it's another, and Mortal Kombat 9 being the reboot of the first game, or like a restart, I should say. Have another callback and show that rift forming, hint at that rift, and show that Liu Kang is not just there for Earthrealm. He's fighting for something else. He's fighting for revenge more than Earthrealm, and Raiden's trying to pull his mind back in to what's more important. And then you could just show Liu Kang saying, you could show Liu Kang say to Raiden, just like your judgment when it caused the death of Kung Lao. And it shows that rift. It shows the rift. And again, it's another nice nod to the games. So there you go. Quincy again. Oh, hang on, what's this? Those darn Screaming articles are ridiculous. They are. I actually did a tweet, and as far as I know, I've tagged the wrong guy who wrote the article on Cole Young being killed off, and I'm like, oh no. The guy who I tagged, he replied saying, wrong guy. And I don't know if that guy, something Kennedy, I forgot his first name, but he's not the right guy. And I don't know if the guy's on Twitter anyway, but it'd be nice to get in touch with him and say, right, do you want to do a counter article from a fan who's showing a balance? You know, you got to have a balance to your crap. So, again, you know, it'd be nice for Screen Rant to reach out and say, okay, we'll do a counter article. What have you got in mind? And I'd write an article. I'd do it and submit it to Screen Rant. I'm happy to do that. DHR2, I think Raiden should fight in the tournament in MK2 as well, at least give him something to do. He doesn't need, right, this is still the first tournament. It's still the first tournament, so he's still under the rules of the Elder Gods. He can't get involved. He can't physically get involved. Again, I'm trying to stick to the original first games format. So his development would be, he's got more confidence in his fighters, that they have a chance to win. I suppose you could have out of tournament battles where Raiden has to intervene, but because it doesn't break the rules, he can get something in. That's how I'd do it. It's like Raiden's not breaking any rules. Someone's trying to do something that forces Raiden to intervene. And because he has to defend Earthrealm warriors, he's not going to stand back and just allow himself to be attacked. He's not being challenged. He's just being attacked. So he has to do something. So you can show him fighting, but he doesn't kill anybody. He's defending himself. So that's how I'd get around that little debacle. Quincy, that's why Todd Garnett is learning to use same thing, the first trailer of Sonic fans. Yeah, change Sonic Fight, basically the whole Sonic thing. Let's hope. But the ones that have been given the biggest microphone from the Mortal Kombat fans are the haters. They're the ones that have been raised. They're not looking at people like me. They're not giving us that microphone. They're giving it to the people to create. What can I create? Create controversy. Not controversy. It's like create trouble, and it's like it just gives these outlets like Screen Rant something to write on and attack fans over more, and they treat them as if this is the majority, and it really isn't. It really isn't the majority. The haters are given more of a microphone than the rest of us, and it pisses people like me off, because people like me who really want to help this franchise, because I don't want to wait another 20 plus years for another reboot. I don't want to do it. I'm almost touching my 40s, believe it or not. And I don't want to wait another 20 years for a reboot. I want to help this incarnation to grow. So my role, that I've placed myself into, is to figure out how to use what we've been given already and fix it. The way I've fixed it, it doesn't make... it turns those little mistakes of the first film into its own little plot. Instead of going, oh, well, Raiden was an arse in that film and he could have done this and he could have done that, it flips it on its head, and it's like, wow, Raiden, it's like, so there is a reason why he had poor judgment and looked like he didn't want to get involved anymore. There's a reason why he did it. And they've got to show that in the next film, because everything in that first film that all the mistakes that people picked out, including myself, it turns it into its own little plot, and they're not mistakes anymore. Do you see what I mean? It totally flips everything on its head. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to remedy and add. I want to add to this incarnation of the franchise. I don't want to rip it, because it's too easy. It really is too easy to rip it. It's hard to defend it. I'll defend the good bits. I will talk about the bad bits. But also there's a balance there of trying to find ways of fixing it in sequels. They're going to make sequels, so how do we go forward? How can we twist things in our favour? As fans, we want it to do well. You got the people that really trash it, but secretly, deep down in that noggin, they want it to be good. They want a good Mortal Kombat film. They're not going to trash it just because, it's another Mortal Kombat film, who cares? Trash it. No, they do want it to be good. These are the people you want to get on your side. You want to bring them fans back. So, you want to address their bad that they have for the film, the Raiden thing. You can't do much for the Arcana. Well, you can do much for the Arcana thing. I've touched upon that in a past stream with the marking. If you want to go back, it's the deception of the mark. If you want to look back, I've done a whole stream on that as well. You want to pull back the fans that have trashed it. Everything they trashed it for, you flip it on its head. It's part of the plot. You've addressed it in the next film, and it'll get those toxic fans to go, they've addressed it, and in a creative way. And you can then, they'll look back at the first film and they'll go, good idea. They'll see it as a good idea. They'll probably still see it as, they did it as an afterthought. So what? So what? You saw it as an afterthought. It addresses the problems people had with the first film while not retconning anything. You're not retconning it, the first film. You're playing with what's already there. It's not a retcon. People hate retcons. They keep going about, another Halloween film where they've started again after the first one. You know, you got the new Texas Chainsaw film, which is again, they're doing the same thing again. They've done it before. The Halloween has done it before, but they're doing it again. It seems to be the new go-to. You're just retconning. Mortal Kombat doesn't need it. This new franchise doesn't need retconning. Be creative and address the problems the first film had. I've gone through all of it in all my streams. I've gone through them. There's ways to get out of it. It can be done. It can be done. Quincy again. Be nice if Liu Kang immediate. Meditate. So I got my camera in the way. Meditate has got nightmares of Kung Lao's death. I'd show him. He didn't have much character. He didn't show much, apart from he sees Raiden as a god. He sees him as God. As a god. He's bowing to him and everything. I want to see a different side to what the games have shown us, especially the first game. I want to look at how he was in Mortal Kombat 9 towards the end of that story, where he's kind of lost his way. He's not fighting for Earthrealm per se. He's fighting for revenge. He wants revenge on Shang Tsung for killing Kung Lao. And it's forcing Liu Kang to be reckless and overexert himself, which leaves himself open. And you could have Raiden say, you've got to stop getting angry. You've got to pull yourself back in, because Shang Tsung will exploit that and you will lose. And you show Liu Kang be pissed off and angry. Not just because he wants revenge, but he's angry at Raiden as well, because he knows that Raiden got Kung Lao killed. So show that rift happening. You've got to show Liu Kang be something different to the goody little Shaolin monk. We've got our resident Australian in. That was my pitch. Hey man, how's it going? You've said something out. Oh gosh, what you've put. I've missed the beginning, but I would like Koi Lang Sub-Zero in 2. Yeah, but not yet as Sub-Zero. And have Noob Saibot, but sparingly, until when Koi Lang takes the Sub-Zero title. If you ever get to watch back at this, I've got to go against everything you've just said. I've got to. The Lin Kuei believing that Sub-Zero is dead. I suppose you still... Yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to go with something you just said. I'm going to go with it. I was going to say that the Lin Kuei, after he was killed in the first film, Sub-Zero, they then thought, Bai Han's dead, we need to, the mantle. And it's like, okay, we'll see if we can get Koi Lang to take up the mantle. But because of the reset and Elder Gods bringing them all back, Sub-Zero is back. He's going to still hold on to that mantle of Sub-Zero. But the Lin Kuei have already sent out Koi Lang. And I would say they've already named him Sub-Zero. They've already given him they've already given that mantle because, Sub-Zero's returned. By Hana's return, he's still holding on to the mantle, even though technically his clan has given the mantle to Koi Lang. I wouldn't have Noob Saibot back because they've all returned back, and the idea of bringing back Sub-Zero is to torment Scorpion and rub in the face of Scorpion that Scorpion never beat him one-on-one. He needed his descendant, Cole Young, to help defeat him. So throughout the tournament, until then pair eventually face off, Sub-Zero is going to rub it in his face that you can't beat me. Hanzo, you can't beat me. Even as Scorpion, you can't beat me. And just keep rubbing it in Scorpion's face, fueling his fire. So when them pair eventually fight, you're going to have a definitive winner, and Scorpion's going to win. He's just going to outright toast him. There's going to be hardly anything left. It's just going to be... You can't have bones. I still want some flesh on there because of an end credit scene that I explained earlier. So if you ever watch this back, watch it at double speed and you'll eventually get there. We went over the cutscene would have Baihan toasted and almost bones in the Nether Realm, and have his body absorbing the atmosphere of the Nether Realm to show that he's seeing like forming back. He's getting strength back in his body, his bony body, his burnt body's like getting his juices back. But he's coming back as something else. He's coming back as Noob Saibot. So the atmosphere of the Nether Realm is having an effect on his dead body. That Quan Chi has dragged back with him to the Nether Realm. So there we go. That's how I'd do it. I rewatched it on the weekend. There are things I don't like. Arcana being one of them. Goro's death. I could go on. Still enjoyed the film though. It is enjoyable. I've watched it 3 times. And I understand where you're coming from. There's bad in there, but there's also good in there. And I've offered some solutions, especially with the idea of bringing them back due to the breaking of the rules from both sides. It's not just Shang Tsung, it's both sides. So you have the Elder Gods intervene and say, right, you've both killed people on both sides before the tournament. You can't do that. So now everyone that was killed is all going to be brought back. They're all going to be brought back. We're going to bring them all back. It's not a time reset, so you're not going back in time. Chronica's not in this. So the Elder Gods are going to bring back everyone that died. But the twist is they're not just going to be brought back and, be back to hopping and skipping. No, they're going to be brought back to their last memories of being killed. They know they can be killed. So I know you didn't like Goro being killed, but again, fixing the shortcomings of the first film, you can have Goro returning. The first thing he does is just check if he's got his hand back. Check his scars that he got from the slit, the eyeball, and the throat. And you show him knowing that he can be killed. And he shouts to the sky before he cuts to another person being brought back. You have these quick cuts of the people being brought back. And for him specifically, in the tournament, he now doesn't take anyone lightly. He took Cole Young lightly. You want to show him being dangerous? You want to show these dead fighters that are returning more dangerous? For Goro's sake, if you're going to have like a throwaway fighters fight Goro, don't have anyone get any hits on Goro. You have Goro straight away. Grab the guy, tear him apart. Literally just grab the guy and pull him apart. He doesn't say anything. Minimal movement. Utter pure aggression. He goes in. As soon as Shang Tsung goes, fight! Goro, straight away, bang, grabs the guy. 2 arms, 2 legs, rips him apart. That's it. Just tears him apart and walks away. That's all you got to do. He doesn't take anyone lightly anymore. Instantly makes Goro 100% more dangerous than he was in the first film. He doesn't take any shit. He's not going to take anyone lightly anymore. So whoever gets to face him, you're gonna think, oh God, is he going to be torn apart by Goro? And whoever fights him, whoever main character, either Liu Kang or Johnny Cage again. I don't mind Johnny Cage fighting him again. Don't mind. Doesn't matter. It's going to make Goro 100 times more dangerous than he was in the first film. And you're going to think, oh my God, whoever's going to fight him, they're going to have a tough time this time instead of Cole Young just look, pussyfooting around. Goro being distracted, trying to kill Cole Young's family instead of going after Cole Young. It's Goro thinking, oh, I'm the big man. I don't need to do anything. He realizes now that he can be killed. And he's not going to take anyone lightly anymore. I think I've already spoke about Kano. I don't know. I'd have to do some... I might do another stream on Kano. I'll do another stream on Kano. That's that Quincy. Let's be honest. Bringing a new writer on board indicates they will be fixing issues the first movie had, making changes. We hope so. We hope so. Which is why I've done streams knowing there's a new writer. I forgot his last name, but Jeremy follows Todd Garner. Todd Garner follows me. Hopefully, they'll send teams out for fan ideas or something, and they come across mine. I'm hoping they do. Which is, it'd be good if they did something like that. They sent out teams to gather information, what would work, what wouldn't work. Would be a good idea. Quincy, how Ika Aways and his stunt crew helped the fight, the choreography, like in the Raid 1 and 2, also the movie Fistful of Engines on Netflix. I've only seen the trailer for that, and I'm interested in it. And straight away, the fight scenes look better than they do in the first Mortal Kombat film. So the 2021 film. So I don't know who they're going to bring on because we don't know what the budget's going to be. Is it going to be bigger? Is it going to be smaller? Now, you're going to hope it's going to be a lot bigger because they're going to want to make this franchise big. They're going to want more CGI. They're going to want more star power. Do you think? A little bit more star power in there? You'd like to think they're going to have the budget to bring in whoever's needed for the fights. Now, everyone likes the Raid. I like the Raid. The fight scenes are very brutal. They're very fast-paced. I'm going to go again. I'm going to go a little bit against the grain here. Now, I want the fight scenes in the next film show more extension. More extension of kicks, more emphasis on the moves, if you know what I mean. So instead of close-ups of, quick hand-to-hand, you can show a bit of that. But I want more wide shots. The first movie suffered from wide shots. It didn't show it. It kept cutting and cutting and cutting and swapping and swapping and swapping. Like, fights would be there, and then all of a sudden there'd be a cut, and they'd be there, and then the cut, and they'd be over each other's shoulder, and then over the other shoulder. It was too much. Was that the director's fault? Or was that studio influence? We don't know. I'm hoping the director... I'm hoping he learns from his mistakes, doesn't do so many cuts, more wide shots. But again, we don't know if the director's locked down. We don't know if it's going to be the same director. Would I give the director another chance? There was some good scenes, but it depends on how much control he had over the cutting. The quick cuts don't work for anybody. It doesn't help the film. It actually lessens the film. So, it depends on what director they're going to get. And, with the producers and everyone else, when it comes to fight choreography, they could go for the same crew, the same choreography crew. Iko Uwais is built up a massive profile. They could have first dibs. I'm not against them. But yeah, I don't want close-up shots of the fights. No. It's got to wide shots and it's got to express the moves more. But we'll see. How about had to fix this? Oh, you fixing your sentence again. I understood it. It's fine. King Seo is in and he's very, very late. It's all right. You're only nearly an hour and a half late. But I suppose if you watch this at double speed, it'd be fine. But thanks for coming on. Hang on. Quincy again. He says, we don't know if Simon McCoy's back. Exactly. There's nothing, apart from the writer, there's nothing else that's been locked down. We're just going to have to wait. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes. We don't know if they've already got a director and they're just solving other contracts that are involved. We don't know if Simon McCoy has signed on for a trilogy and they're trying to buy out his contract. We don't know. We just don't know. But I'm willing to give him a chance if he shows that he's progressed in less cuts. We'll see. Does anyone have any other questions? Because as soon as the hour and a half mark comes, I'm going to shoot off. So does anyone else have anything to say in terms of the idea of saving Noob Saibot for the next film and have Sub-Zero return back for the next film? So I'm going to wait if there's any questions. If not, I think I'm going to be done. So I'm going to wait until the hour and a half mark. We've only got 2 minutes. 2 minutes! And then I'm going to wait for the next one. Paul Dibson Anderson from 95 Mortal Kombat. Yeah, did he see the script for the second and he didn't like it, so he backed out? I think that's how it went. And everyone else that was under him in terms of second unit, second director and producer, they all, instead of getting new people in, they just moved everyone up. Which is, do you really want me to defend Mortal Kombat Annihilation? Because I will do it. Don't make me pee you guys off, because I will defend Mortal Kombat Annihilation for its merits. I will do it. I'm a dying breed of Annihilation, Mortal Kombat Annihilation fans. Noob has to show. He will be shown, but not fully formed. We went over earlier where it'd be a cutscene at the end, and a fully dead Bihan at the hands of Scorpion gets taken down to the Netherrealm by Quan Chi, and the Netherrealm is having an effect on the dead body of Bihan. Bihan he's been brought back to life in the Netherrealm, because that's where the dead bodies and souls go to, live out the rest of their lives, die out the rest of their death. And the atmosphere of the Netherrealm is having an effect on the body of Bihan, on the toasted, juiceless body of Bihan. And he's absorbing the atmosphere and he's changing. So the reason why, it also shows why Noob Saibot in the games has no freeze abilities whatsoever. He's got nothing linking him back to Sub-Zero. Nothing. So it's a change that's happening in his body, and it shows that absolute change to him becoming Noob Saibot. So that would be a cutscene. And as you've just said there, yeah. So there we go. I think we've covered that now. So again, the idea is save Noob Saibot, tease him for the next one, show the return of killed fighters because the rules were broken on both sides. They're not allowed to fight each other until the tournament comes. The Elder Gods step in, bring everyone back. Apart from Kung Lao, because his soul is taken, whereas the other souls weren't taken. Again, bring them back. Show that the ones that have been brought back have the knowledge that they've been killed. Have Sub-Zero torment Scorpion by saying, you can't defeat me one-on-one. You needed your descendants to help you beat me. You can't beat me one-on-one. Until the inevitable battle happens between them pair, and you get the definitive winner of Scorpion defeating Sub-Zero finally, and then you have that tease at the end of Noob Saibot. So there we go. I'm going to shoot off then. I'm going to thank everyone for coming in and posting in the chat. I like it when I can bounce off you guys and have questions and, you know, share my ideas with, because I find it fun sharing my ideas. It's very fun. Instead of on Twitter, once you've written it out, it's gone. It's lost. It's lost to the Twitter background. But in these videos, I can express myself fully. I can interact with you guys fully, and I enjoy that because it plants them seeds in your guys' minds, and I like that. So yeah, thank you very much for coming in. I think my next stream like this, going on about the next film, will be my idea on Kano. But, and I'm going to give a hint. I have a stream coming, and it's going to be an interview with someone. It's possibly going to be my biggest stream to date. So it's interesting times. So next week, I'm going to have a live stream. It's a live stream interview with someone. It's no one from the Mortal Kombat movie. It's not an actor, but it's someone that has been involved with Mortal Kombat before. Almost involved with Mortal Kombat before, I should say. Almost. So I'll leave that with you. So hopefully I'll share that link out, and we'll have all you guys back. We'll have some more guys back. And it'll be an interesting interview / discussion. And it's something I'm looking forward to. It's going to be my biggest stream yet, and I'm hoping you guys can be in for that one. So I'll let you guys go. And thank you very much for coming here and interacting. So once again, thank you very much. And your view is mine. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you later.